What is going on, everybody? My name is Rai, and today we take an initial look at the new game Age of Empires 4, the new strategy game on the market that is finally released. So let's jump right in. So for you, real-time strategy game avids, Age of Empire has been a long-running game franchise that has been out for as long as I can remember, and I can remember playing Age of Empires 1 when I was like six or seven, and I followed the franchise all the way through, and I have been waiting for years for a decent real-time strategy game to be released onto the market, and Age of Empires 4 seems right now to be that exact game. So today we're going to do an initial dive in. I've played the game for about 10, 11 hours, played quite a few of the campaign missions. I tried a skirmish, shall we say, with an AI. Got my butt whooped. But we're going to talk about what I think is a really good aspects of the game, things that could do with some improving, and then you can make your judgments based on if you think it's a game that you should purchase or not. So before we start, the Game Pass for Xbox actually has Age of Empires 4 for free. So if you do pay for that, you can actually get it and download it for free, which is exactly what I've done. Or if you don't have that, it is on Steam or the Xbox Marketplace for about £50, I believe. So I don't know what that means in your currency, but 50 British pounds. So let's look at some of the basic features. So I'm going to look at gameplay, we're going to look at immersive play, we're going to look at ease of use, what I think is really good about this game, and also what I think is really bad. So let's talk first about the ease of use. So in the gameplay, in this video, you can see a basic tutorial. It throws you, as soon as you go straight into the game, it throws you straight into tutorial. It doesn't even let you go to the main menu, which I think is actually pretty cool. And for me, I haven't played a RTS game since StarCraft 2, which was probably about 5 years ago. So I was a little bit rusty, and I didn't play any of the Age of Empires definitive editions that I have, which I really should have to get used to it. But it seems like a completely fresh game, so I thought I'd jump straight into the tutorial. And I'm pretty sure that Jude Law narrates this, so I listened to his entire voice explaining what to do, but it gives you basic information on how to get your villagers to kill, to cook, to gather, and what scouts can do, and then it goes further in about how to build the buildings, how to get into the next age, the next era, and then also combat and siege as well. So it shows you how to defend and also attack, which I think is a really good little starter. I do remember back in the early 2000s, the amount of RTS games that were coming out, they just expected you to sort of understand what a game was, and you were thrown straight into it without any sort of description. And some were lost to me because I do like a good tutorial. So for me, the tutorial is a very key point of this game, and it also gives you targets to go towards. So you can see in the top left, it gives you a gold medal score, silver and bronze. I never got the gold, I'm disappointed to say, but I got a silver a few times, and I also got the bronze. But Jude Law, I believe it is, we'll call him Jude Law, he does point out that you are failing and you missed the gold medal, but you can still gain the silver or the bronze. And the most important thing for me that it teaches you is which military unit is strong and weak against others. It does have a voiceover, but also it does tell you in each description of the unit, which you can go back and look at, because at the very end of the tutorial, you're going to have to rely on the strengths and weaknesses of infantrymen and longbowmen and things like that. And please listen to it, because I didn't, and it took me probably about an hour to do the last tutorial, which is probably not the best idea, because it's only supposed to be a tutorial. So after the tutorial, you jump straight into the main campaign. Now, I believe you can change which main campaign you start first, but it initially starts you with the Battle of Hastings back in ye olde English times. And then it follows the journey of the heirs to the throne and the issues with France and the battles and things like that. I won't spoil any of it, so I'm not going to give any massive names out. But if you know your English history, you'll know what's coming. But it follows a whole timeline of English history. Then you can move over to, I believe there's Russia, there's China, and there's a bunch of different massive historical leaders that you can follow. No spoilers, because I want you to enjoy the game as best you can. But how does it play? So let's talk about gameplay, and also one of my favourite features is the immersiveness of the game. So on the campaign missions, every single mission gives you a history of what exactly happened, and it gives you a full action-packed narration, and also a little video, which I think is really cool. I don't watch a lot of cutscenes, but I've watched every single one because it's so action-packed. It's almost like it's part of a movie. So currently right now, Henry I, his son has just died in a tragic accident, and the heir of the throne passed to Matilda. So it follows the history of Matilda's struggles about nobody wanted her to be the heir to the throne, and a woman will never rule England, and they wanted a man to do it. So you're basically following the history of what exactly happened in my current playthrough, but it gives you the full historical events, and I think it's actually really cool. Now, if you are a English student, it will have you questioning things that you learned at school, because I didn't know any of this, and I'm disappointed to say I didn't learn this at school, or what I can remember. I learned World War, which is nothing wrong with that, but I would have loved to learn about ye old English and all this stuff, because I didn't know anything after the Battle of Hastings, which is the most popular event. I knew nothing. So this is also a amazing game, but it's also a history lesson, and it's told in a very, very fun and immersive way that will have you watching everything. So let's jump into the past a little bit and look at a battle. The first battle that you actually see when you're in the campaign, which has got quite a few enemies on screen. And let's show you how smooth it runs and also the gameplay aspect of it. So the smoothness of it, for me, I didn't have a problem with the game at all. So I don't think a lot of people have massive issues. I've had reports from people on lower spec PCs and higher spec PCs. Nobody's had an issue yet. This, for me, auto-picked the highest graphics setting, and I've not had any issue with frame rate loss or anything like that. Even when I've got an army of 200 and they have an army of 200, I've not had an issue as of yet. The only thing I have noticed is that I think when it auto-saves sometimes, if it catches it at a wrong moment, it does freeze the screen for a fair few seconds. I've had a most of a freeze screen of about 6 seconds, and it is quite annoying, but the music still plays and the action's still going on behind you, but the screen's completely frozen. So don't alt F4. It is just game just catching up, and I think it is between the auto-save moments, so I think that needs to be optimized a little bit. But other than that, it plays like a very standard RTS, nothing game-breaking in the sense of innovation. It's just very safe, and it just works. And I think this generation of games, we need something like this to enter the market and be popular, because it is very, very heavy with lots of in-game marketplace games, immediate gratifications, and things like that, which is nothing wrong with that. But a game like this is going to flourish in a market that we've needed a decent RTS game for a very, very long time. And Age of Empires has been a long-standing franchise and loved by many, and I think it's just going to work. And I don't think it needs to be game-breaking. I don't think there needs to be something that changed the formula that it was already there, because the formula was there. Everybody loved it. It's just a new game with new features and new graphics. And then finally, in the gameplay that I've experienced, one final thing, and then we'll move over, is that I think there's an issue right now, or it seems to be. I know it's supposed to be as real as possible, but there's an issue with like clipping, where if there's only 1 or 2 enemies and you've got 7 or 8 swarmed, it does cause an issue, because it is every individual character has their own sort of physical space, so you can't walk characters through another, which, when you think about it, it is actually good because it's extremely realistic. But it does have an issue where if you've got like 10 horsemen and a few military sort of foot soldiers, you do have an issue where they swarm around, but only 1 or 2 hits them and they end up losing. I would like to see a potential chance of maybe, instead of swarming, the AI sort of game sort of spaces them out a little bit to give them more chance to attack. So maybe I can have like 5 or 6 attacking instead of 1 or 2. But other than that, I've not found a massive issue with the gameplay. Just that one thing. But other than that, it does play very, very nicely. And as I say, it's just a standard RTS game, which is what we need. So let's talk about something that if you ever Google Age of Empires 4 right now, it is the most debated and most negatively reviewed aspect of the game, and that is the graphics. I've seen some people say that this game belongs in 2010 with the way it looks, and in a way I have to agree with it, just in the sense that this is the highest graphics settings that is available in the game, and it doesn't look like a game from 2021. But that's okay, and I think that's something that will always plague the RTS genre, because developers will always have to decide if they want a game that is fully immersive with amazing 2021 graphics, but suffer potential gameplay lag, or have the chance of reducing the graphics to an acceptable level, and have something that is very smooth and runs very well. And that is something I believe is what they've done. And it reminds me very similar of Civilization 6, which is a very similar sort of graphic palette, shall we say, as this. And as I said, you have a massively immersive game, and you will have at one point 200 troops with everything going on in the background. You might have 2 or 3 bases, and your enemy, if you're playing online or AI or something like that, or even the campaign, will probably have the same. And if you go into a full scale battle of 400 plus units on the screen at once, with everything going in the background, you will have gameplay lag if you have an amazing, graphically beautiful looking game as what you would expect in 2021. So I think it's something that we'll have to put up with. I do like graphics, I do like things looking good, and this is acceptable for me, and I've not had an issue with it, and I won't have an issue with it because it's something just commonly understood in an RTS genre that you won't have amazing graphics, but you will have amazing experiences. And that is my initial deep dive of Age of Empires 4. There is so much more that I would love to talk about, but I'm going to do a full review and a full sort of gameplay review in the coming days of this game because I'm in love with it and I'm really enjoying the game, and I want to know your opinions too. So, what do you think of Age of Empires 4? Do you enjoy the game? Is it something bringing you back home to what you expect from days gone in Age of Empires 1, 2, and 3? What did you expect to see? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Let me know. But as always, my name is Rye. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, write a comment, hit that thumbs up, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care. Bye bye.